Thank God. See, we're happy to be with us. His Holiness, birthday in Maharaj here. So, Maharaj joined this God. Maharaj was inspiration from his doing Srila Prabhupada here in London, India, 1971. Later that year, Maharaj received his second invitation. He has been waiting for over last 25 years in Asian countries as India, Philippines, China, Taiwan, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Thailand. Through these years of teaching, he has given countless courses, practical guidance, and deep inspiration. Taking Sannyasa in Srila Mayapur in the year 1994, he was the Samavish Maharaj, really much of a change in his lifestyle. Since Maharaj has always been strict in his sadhana, whoever makes Srila Maharaj amazed and does such a sincere and faithful practice of chanting the holy name of the Lord, he truly wants his God. Thank you, Maharaj, for joining us. I know this God is all the silent and Maharaj is going to speak about obstacles in the path of bhakti and how to overcome.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Yashoda chaiva narottamam Daivim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirhaya Nastapraeshu Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. So this evening, as you heard, we're going to speak about obstacles in the path of our devotional service. Actually, my name is Bhakti Vigna Vinasha Narasimha. So Vigna is obstacles, and Vinasha means to remove the obstacles. So obstacles can be removed by devotion, by bhakti. But sometimes there are obstacles in our path of devotion. We're trying to practice devotion, but there are obstacles. Actually, what is the real obstacle? The real obstacle is our own self. It's not that something is blocking us from serving Krishna. It is simply our own reluctance to fully commit ourselves to the service of Krishna. So the obstacle is the mind. It's a problem dealing with the mind. We have to learn how to control the mind. It's a very important fact in Krishna consciousness to control the mind. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about the mind in chapter 6, because in chapter 6, Lord Krishna is describing dhyana yoga, or meditation. And there in the 6th chapter, Lord Krishna describes that for one who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. And for one who has failed to do so, then his very mind is the greatest enemy. Lord Krishna then goes on to say that one can elevate himself by the mind, and the mind can also degrade oneself. So it's very important for us to learn how to control the mind. We give some examples to understand the nature of the mind and the relation of the mind to other parts of our body. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, you must have seen some of illustrations there in the Bhagavad Gita, and there's an illustration. There's an illustration of a chariot there, and the horses are pulling the chariot, and on each of the horses there's one of the senses, because in the material body we have 5 senses. So the tongue is one sense, which is very difficult to control, then the ear, and then the eyes, and the nose, and the hand, or the sense of touch. So these 5 senses, they are compared to horses. And controlling the senses is also important. Now, the mind is what controls the senses. The mind controls the senses. The mind is compared to the reins on the horses. The horses are like, very powerful, very difficult to control. But you have reins on the horse, and the reins represent the mind. And how are the reins controlled? There's a driver on the chariot, And the driver on the chariot represents intelligence. So in this way there's a relationship between the senses and the mind and the intelligence. And the passenger on that chariot is the soul. The driver is the intelligence, the passenger is the soul, and the chariot itself represents the material body. So we're practicing bhakti yoga, and we have to understand the relationship between these different parts of our body. We all have a mind, we all have some intelligence, we all have senses, and we have a body. We have to learn how to control these different parts and how they relate to each other. So we say from the Bhagavad Gita we learn that the senses are superior to dull matter. Just like this table is matter. Now if I want to pick up the table and move the table over there, I could do that because it's matter. And matter is under the control of the living entities. The living entities superior to dull matter. By my senses, I can move different things around. Matter cannot say, don't touch me. Right? You do what you want with matter. So the senses are higher than matter. And higher than the senses is the mind. The mind is what tells us and gives instruction to the senses. Our mind tells us, I'm hungry, I want to eat. The mind tells us, I'm tired, I want to sleep. The mind has desires. This is the nature of the mind. We will always have desires. Now some people think that they can stop desire, but you cannot stop desire. What we can do is to change the quality of our desire. Instead of desiring for simply material sense pleasure, we can desire to do service for Krishna. Just like in the material world, people like to sing and play musical instruments. There's many musical groups. Tonight we heard the wonderful bhajan by the devotees. They were playing so nicely the instruments and they were chanting so wonderfully. It was very beautiful, the performance. And it's all for the pleasure of Krishna. That we get pleasure from singing the names of Krishna. Now in the material world, people will sing mundane love songs and different rock and roll and things like that. But devotees, they will sing the names of the Lord and they will glorify the Lord and they will play also the instruments to complement that chanting of the names of God. So that is spiritual. Ordinary music is mundane, but chanting of the Mahamantra is spiritual. So the desire can be spiritual. We can change from material desires to spiritual desires. Material desires cause us to go and eat in terrible restaurants where they're serving all kinds of animal food. But spiritual desire is, I should go where the devotees are, because maybe there'll be prasadam and I can have Krishna prasadam, which is a whole different realm from ordinary food which you would get in a material restaurant where they serve animal flesh. So we want to have spiritual food, that is prasadam, the mercy of Krishna. It is not material, it is spiritual. So obstacles in our devotional service are the senses. And the senses are controlled by the mind, right? Our senses often want to eat things which we shouldn't eat, right? We shouldn't eat untouchable foods. Bhagavad Gita describes to us about qualities of food. There is food in the mode of goodness, there is food in the mode of rajas or passion, and there is food in the mode of tamas or ignorance. So food in the mode of passion is very hot and very spicy, very oily, and food in the mode of ignorance is like animal flesh and food which is decomposed, and it's not really suitable for human consumption. Food in the mode of goodness nourishes us, increases the duration of life, and gives us strength, health, and satisfaction. So prasadam is like that. It has these qualities. It's food in the mode of goodness. Actually, it's even transcendental to the mode of goodness. It's pure goodness, because there's no karma in prasadam. Other food has karma, karmic reactions. You eat impure foods, you get karma. Just like you go to a restaurant and you eat food cooked by some person who is not a devotee. Maybe they smoke and drink and they eat everything. So they have a lot of karma. And when they cook, then they will put a lot of karma into their cooking. And if you eat their food, you will get their karma. So disease comes often from the mouth. The things we put in our mouth, that's how we get disease. We have to be very careful. So a devotee of Krishna will be careful to try to get prasadam, to eat food cooked by devotees, and to eat food which has been offered to Krishna, because there's no karma. It's karma-free. So we are encouraging devotees, this is how to control the tongue. The tongue is difficult to control. Just like as devotees we are trained to say a prayer before taking prasadam. We will say, it's in Bengali, and it's written by one great devotee, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Because when we eat, even though when we eat prasadam, we may say, well, this is prasadam, is spiritual food, it's already offered. Do we need to say another prayer? Well, the problem is that we often have a material understanding about things. So that prayer is to help us remember that food which we're going to take is not ordinary food, but it's prasadam. It is Krishna's mercy. So we say, Sharira avidya jao jatandriya kaheka. Right? It's a prayer which we often recite. And it's one of the first prayers I learned when I became a devotee. Right? When I became a devotee, before taking prasadam, the devotees would always say together this prayer. And so, of course, when we take prasadam, we would wake up, we'd feel very alert. Oh, prasadam, nice prasadam is coming. And then, when we say another prayer, when we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, then we, oh no, going to be class, go to sleep, It's the go to sleep mantra, for some people. Not for everyone, but for some people. So prasadam is the wake up mantra. We like prasadam, everyone likes prasadam. The point is, we have to control the senses. And the senses are difficult to control. And of all the senses, the tongue, the most difficult to control. Very difficult to control the tongue. So we say, Sharira avidyajam jatendriyate jive phale vishaya shabare. The tongue is very jiva, very difficult to control the tongue. But Krishna is so kind, He has given us prasadam. So we take prasadam. This is how we overcome the obstacle of the tongue. We use the tongue to take prasadam and to chant Hare Krishna. Even sometimes you're not feeling very good, you feel depressed, things are going wrong, you know, you're not getting all the business you want, or you're not getting along. What you can do when you start to have problem, chant Hare Krishna mantra. Join in the kirtan. Just like tonight, when the kirtan goes, then you get into the kirtan and the holy name, the mantra sounds in our mind, in our consciousness. We become Krishna conscious just by the sound of the mantra. Because that mantra is not ordinary. We say, Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. The holy name is coming from Goloka. It's a spiritual sound vibration. So when we feel depressed, when things are not going well, and you feel upset, chant the holy name. It's time for you to chant. Join the kirtan. And if you're alone, then put on the kirtan and play the kirtan, play some recording and chant along with it. Maybe you can go to YouTube and you can find so many kirtans on the YouTube, and you can join in the kirtan, watch all the devotees chanting and dancing, also dancing. You know, it's important when we come in the kirtan, you know, we don't just stand and walk, you know, but we like to dance with the music. It's important for everyone to take part in the kirtan. You know, some people just stand and they just look and they don't enter into the kirtan. But if you join in the kirtan, then you will feel the potency of the holy name. So we encourage the devotees, you know, when somebody leads the kirtan, we respond. Even though we may not be able to sing tonight, the Mataji was singing so nicely, but you know, I could never sing like that. But even we can sing very nicely, still we're all together, you know. And if everybody chants together, it's very nice. That's Sankirtan. Everyone together, and everyone gets a mercy if you join in the kirtan. So joining in the kirtan, using the tongue, and also moving the body, dancing, a little dancing, moving from side to side. Somehow you have to engage ourselves to glorify Krishna. Kirtan is done for the glorification of Krishna. And when we take part in the kirtan, then we will conquer over the mind's demands. The urge of the mind, so many desires are coming in the mind, and we have to conquer them. And the best way to conquer them, by kirtan. So kirtan is important, and then also chanting the holy name. Chanting japa is also very helpful. So everyone should have a bead bag and beads and chant regularly. And if regularly we take shelter of the holy name, it will help us to overcome the obstacles in material life. The obstacles in our heart, there's a lot of dirty things. There's lust. There's anger, there's greed, there's envy. These kind of things are all there in everyone's heart. And we can clean the heart by doing devotional service, by taking up more chanting, by doing more service for Krishna. Service for Krishna is very powerful. Just like organizing this program tonight, it takes a lot of work. People have to, they bring the projector and they prepare the slides and everything. It's a lot of work. Then people bring the instruments. All of these things don't stay here. They have to carry them from some place. They bring the harmonium, it's heavy. They bring the danga, so it's bulky. They have to bring the kartal. There's so many things to be done to arrange the program. And bring all the mats for people to sit on. There's so much work involved in putting on a program. That is service, working for Krishna. In Dubai, everybody works, right? And people have jobs, and so many people are so busy all working. But how many people are working for Krishna? Only a few people are working for Krishna. And people who are working for Krishna, they're very fortunate. They're getting the real mercy. Other people, Dubai, they're working, they're getting some dirhams, they're getting some money, some Lakshmi like that. But working for Krishna, we're getting something special. We're getting the qualification to go back to Godhead, right? By serving Krishna, it's very powerful. It cleans the heart. Our heart has a lot of bad things in the heart, and we get rid of them when we do service for Krishna. Take up some service. So our Krishna consciousness movement, it runs on volunteers, right? And we always need volunteers. We always need people to come and take up service, to help us, to do all the things which have to be done. Just like this, someone brought this flower garland for me. I didn't ask them to bring me a garland, but somehow it's a culture in our Krishna consciousness movement that we like to give the flower garland to the speaker. So somebody has to arrange that every time. There's so many little things which take a lot of work, and if you help to do the service, then you get the mercy. By doing service for Krishna, Krishna rewards you. He gives you special mercy. He gives you a clean heart. He takes away the dirty things from our heart. So Krishna consciousness is like that. It helps us to clean the heart and to become happy. We get great pleasure in serving Krishna. We get pleasure from chanting the holy name and from working for Krishna. It's very satisfying. In the material world, people have jobs, and often you get tired of the work. Oh, I'm not satisfied in this job. It doesn't give me any happiness, any satisfaction. But when you work for Krishna, you get satisfaction. You satisfy the soul. It's a different experience. And that's why I've been in the Krishna consciousness movement more than 50 years. I joined the Krishna consciousness movement as a young man, and I had a job, but I gave up that job to take up Krishna consciousness. And I've been serving Krishna ever since. And I have no reason to give up serving Krishna. And I want to keep serving Krishna till I drop, because it gives me so much satisfaction to work for Krishna, to give my time and my energy for Krishna. So that is the nature of devotional service. And devotional service is available for everyone. Sometimes you can't find the job you want, but Krishna wants all of us. Krishna wants everyone to be engaged in his service. And there's unlimited opportunities for all of you to take up Krishna consciousness. The obstacle is our own mind. So how to defeat the mind? Well, intelligence is important. I said higher than the mind is intelligence. And higher than intelligence is the soul. The soul is seated next to the super soul. There are two souls. The super soul means the Supreme Lord in the heart. And the Jivatma is the individual soul. So like that, there are two souls. And we have to understand how to give pleasure to the soul. Intelligence controls the mind. Use our intelligence. Just like the mind may say, oh, I need money, I will rob a bank. But the intelligence will say, well, that's not a very good idea. If you rob the bank, you'll go to jail. You may spend the rest of your life in jail. So intelligence is required to conquer the mind, because the mind has so many foolish desires. And how do we get intelligence? Well, the Lord in the heart, Lord Krishna is in the heart. He can give us intelligence. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says in the 15th chapter, Sarvasya Chahamridisanivisto Mataksmitir Jnanam Apohanam Cha Vedaischa Sarvam Aham Eva Vidya Vedanta Krit Vedavid Eva Chaham. Lord Krishna is saying that I'm in the hearts of all living entities. And from me comes knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness. So the Lord is there as the Paramatma. And He's giving us that knowledge, and He can help us to remember the important things. And so that can give us the intelligence. And the other way you can get intelligence is by reading Bhagavad Gita. I hope everyone has got a Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have a Bhagavad Gita, you can get one at the back there. There's Bhagavad Gitas there. So it's important, everyone, you should have a Bhagavad Gita. And even you can get the soft copy, you can have the Bhagavad Gita in your mobile phone. And you can be reading Bhagavad Gita regularly. Just like everybody has a mobile phone today. So you should have in your mobile phone Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is the best friend, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, Krishna said He is the best. He said, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. Krishna said, I am the best friend of all living entities. So Krishna is a friend. He's giving us that knowledge, that remembrance. But we have to hear. We have to hear Krishna. He's speaking to us from the heart. In the heart, Krishna is speaking to us. He's telling us, chant Hare Krishna. He's telling us, don't eat meat, fish and eggs. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke cigarettes. Stop watching Bollywood movies. Read the Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna. Lord Krishna is telling us these things. We have to hear Him. It's important for us. And that's why we have also the books like Bhagavad Gita, and we have also spiritual teachers. Just like spiritual teachers like Prabhupada and Prabhupada's students, they're all coming, so many students, so many senior devotees are coming. Last time I was here, Damodardesh was here. He teaches the devotees to play the instruments. Maybe he taught some of you also. I don't know, but you know, like that, different devotees come and they teach what they know. They've been trying to share everything. So it's important for us to hear from Krishna and from Krishna's devotees. Ultimately, you should have a guru. You need to have a spiritual teacher. The guru is important. We say, Om Ajnana Damodardesh, that I was born in ignorance, but my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. So it's important for us to hear from Krishna's devotees. It's important for us to get a spiritual teacher, find a guru who can help us to remember Krishna and to overcome all the obstacles. Sometimes we don't know how to overcome the obstacles. Spiritual teacher can tell us what is your problem, and he can help us to remove the problem. Right? Sometimes you have to have that help. So it's important for all of us. You want to make progress in spiritual life. We want to move forward. It's important. Follow the process. We follow 4 principles. We chant every day. We chant on the beats. And we also like to have kirtan. We like to read the books. And we want to eat prasadam. Eating Krishna prasadam. Very important for us. So if you do these things every day, then you can avoid all the obstacles, all the bad habits, the sins which come. As soon as we forget Krishna, then immediately Maya. And Maya means we're thinking about the body and we're trying to enjoy the senses without Krishna. But as soon as you remember Krishna, then the Maya goes away. No Maya. We don't allow Maya to come in here when we're having our program. Right? It's all Krishna, Krishna Katha, talking about Krishna, glorifying Krishna. So very important for us to worship Krishna. How to worship Krishna, you can see how we did tonight. We offer some incense, some flowers. Lord Krishna is pleased. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. A leaf, a flower, fruit, water. These things are available even here in Dubai, in the desert. Right? Even here you can get these things and you can offer them to Lord Krishna and make your life successful. So a little worship of Krishna, read the books about Krishna and chant the holy names of Krishna. Join the kirtan with these devotees. Take part in the kirtan with them. So nice kirtan. I never heard such wonderful kirtan for a long time. Very beautiful. So we encourage all of you, join the kirtan, get the mercy. Right? Mercy, Prabhupada said, Sankirtan, he said that is like the machine gun. If you have a machine gun, everybody dead, right? So the kirtan, Sankirtan is like that machine gun. Everyone gets the mercy. Everyone gets Krishna consciousness by the chanting of the holy names. So we are very happy to see all of you here this evening, and we encourage all of you to please continue chanting Hare Krishna and take part in this Krishna conscious program. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Anyone has any question or any obstacle, any problem you want to overcome? Yes?
Thank you so much for the instruction. I have a question regarding the point you made that how we can control our mind using our intelligence. But in the Shastras, there is an example given of Ajamil, and we see that his upbringing gave him good intelligence. Like he was from a Brahmana family.
So he was given good culture and good intelligence. But when it came to the time when he saw the sinful act, that time it seems like his intelligence didn't help him and his mind took over. So could you explain this to me?
Alright, so did you hear Prabhu's question? Could you hear? Anyway, well, the question was, he was talking about a story from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a story about a man called Ajamila. So Ajamila was born in a Brahmana family, and as a young man he was a Brahmana, and he was a good Brahmana, but somehow he became degraded, and he got attracted to, he saw some drunken couple. They were both drunk. But somehow Ajamil became attracted to this woman, and she was drunk and she was with another man. But somehow Ajamil, by foolishness, he got attracted to this woman, and he brought her to his home, and he became involved with her, and he gave up his own wife, who was a very chaste woman, and she left him. And so he lived with this woman who was a drunkard. He engaged in many sinful activities. So Prabhu is asking that in the beginning he had intelligence, he was a Brahmana and he was worshipping Shaligram and so on. But then he lost his intelligence and listened to his mind. So how does it happen? Well, it happens because of lust. Lust can be situated in the senses, in the mind, or in the intelligence. So lust is the all-devouring sinful enemy. Lust is the desire to enjoy sense gratification, right? It's not a good thing. How can we conquer over lust? You should read from the Bhagavad Gita, the 3rd chapter. At the end of the 3rd chapter, Arjuna asks a question to Lord Krishna. He said, why is one compelled to do sinful activities, even unwilling, as if engaged by force? And Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, it is due to lust, O Arjuna, which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of man. So Lord Krishna then goes on to explain how there are different coverings of lust, and how it's situated in the senses, and in the mind, and in the intelligence. And then he goes on to explain, so he's told us where the lust is, that it's there in the intelligence, and he tells us how we can conquer over it. He says, first, one way is by regulating the senses, then you can curb the symbol of this lust. And another thing which is important to conquer lust is by cultivating spiritual knowledge, you can remove that enemy lust. So Ajamila, although he was a Brahmana, he didn't have spiritual knowledge. He lacked that spiritual knowledge. And so often we find people are Brahmanas, but they don't have much knowledge of the scriptures. They'll say, I'm a Brahmana by birth, but they don't have the Brahminical qualities. Actually, a real Brahman is not just birth, but he should do the work of a Brahmana, and he should have the qualities of a Brahmana. So that is important. Guru Krishna said, Chatur Varnam Maya Shustam Guna Karma Vibhaga. Krishna said, I created the divisions of society, and I created them according to guna, quality, and karma, work. So someone's a Brahmana, they have to work like a Brahmana, and they have to also have the qualities. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the qualities of a Brahmana. There are 9 qualities mentioned. Samodamas tapashocham shantir arjavam evacha jnana vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhavacham. Peacefulness, self-control, purity, austerity, honesty, religion, knowledge, and realization. These different things are all mentioned, qualities of the Brahmana. So Ajamila, you say he was a Brahmana by birth, but how much training he got, how much education he got, we don't know. And that's why he fell down. That's why he became a victim of lust, and he became attracted to some other woman. Fortunately, somehow, he had, by some mercy, he gave the name to his youngest son as Narayan. And so it happened, Ajamila was dying, and the Yamadutas came to take him. And so the Yamadutas came because this Ajamila had become very sinful. As a Brahmana, he gave up all the Brahminical work, and he was living with this prostitute woman, and they were doing all sinful things. And even in old age, he had a young child, who he called Narayan. So when the Yamaduts came to take him to Yamalok, then he was afraid, and he called for his son, "Oh, Narayan, Narayan!" And Narayan was the name of God. So the Vishnu Dutas came, and the Vishnu Dutas said, "Just a minute, you cannot take him away, because he is chanting the name of the Lord. You have to free him." So Ajamila, he heard this, and he'd seen the Yamaduts, and they were tying him up to take him to Yamalok. But then the Vishnu Dutas came and said, "Stop, free him. He has chanted the name of the Lord. All of his sins are destroyed." So Ajamila, he got a reprieve at the last moment. He didn't have to go to Yamalok. So his life was extended a little bit. He understood the situation. After hearing from the Vishnu Dutas, then Ajamila left that woman, and he went away to Hardwar, and he took shelter in a Vishnu temple. And for the rest of his life, he stayed in that Vishnu temple, and he did seva there and chanting the holy name. And he gave up his body in the Ganga and went back to Godhead. So he got success in the end by the power of the holy name. Yes? So that's the answer to your question. Any other question? Yes, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. Thank you for your wonderful class. Maharaj, my question, sometimes we experience setbacks and reversals in life through our friends, relatives, and colleagues and so on. So during that moment, our focus goes out of control, and then remembering Krishna also it goes down. So how to remain steady and stay steadfast even if any reversal or setbacks are happening in our life, Maharaj?
Yes, well, Queen Kunti, she prays for reversals. She says, "Vipada shantudashasvat tatra tatra jagat guru." She said, let all the calamities happen again and again. Because the more there are calamities, the more I think of Krishna. When you get difficulties and very calamities coming in your life, then you should understand it's time to take shelter of Krishna. I have to go to Krishna. Only Krishna can help me. So the difficulties which come, you have to recognize that this is Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. Krishna's reminding me I have to take more shelter of him. We have to train the mind. When the difficulties come, it's time to think of Krishna. Take shelter of Lord Krishna. Get your beat, start chanting more, and read the Bhagavad Gita more. And we'll understand more that these difficulties which come, it's the mercy of Krishna to make us more thoughtful, to remember him. Yes, we have to think. We should think The difficulties which come are mercy from Krishna. When you're happy, it's not just when you're happy I can worship God, I can, oh Krishna. When we're happy, yes, we think Krishna's encouraging me. And when we're in distress, we think, actually I deserve to suffer much more, but Krishna's just giving me a little bit. He's just giving me a token punishment. So see everything in relation to Krishna. So Queen Kunti, she had a lot of troubles in her life, but she said it helped me to remember Krishna. And remembering Krishna means no more birth and death. You can get free of all your troubles by taking shelter of Krishna. Okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj,
Yes.
Inclinations about how to control your mind. Maharaj, my question is, actually my colleague, her mother was very pious and she was doing lot of sadhana, service to the Lord by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, preaching about the Lord when she was like in a grandstand's life. Now she is completely bedridden for the past 3, 4, 5 years. She is not able to continue anything and she could not able to chant or she could not able to do anything. But what was the reason? Like, she did so many things for the Lord at her young age and throughout her life. Now she is 76 years old. She is completely bedridden. She cannot able to hear, even say the holy name of the Lord. Nothing she can do. Is it due to the past karma or what is it happening for her?
Well, we have to understand the nature of the material body. Everyone's got a material body. Material body is subject to old age and disease and death. You can't think because I'm a devotee I won't get old. I'm a devotee, I shouldn't get sick. I'm a devotee, I shouldn't die. No, of course, devotee, we're in the material world, we have a material body. You're going to get old, you're going to get disease, and one day we all have to die, right? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, one who has taken birth, death is certain. We all have to die one day. And after death, you take birth again. So this lady you're talking about, you said she read the Bhagavatam and she chanted so much, but now she's bedridden and she can't do anything. And so it's the duty of those people who are serving her, they should read to her. They should be reading and chanting for her. It's our duty to help her to remember Krishna. She can't do it because of her incapacity, her health, but other people can do it for her, and you read for her and help her to remember Krishna. This is the duty of a devotee. And often when somebody is leaving the body, we will go to be by their bedside to chant the holy name, so that when they depart from the world, they can hear the holy name. It's important. Even great devotees, Madhavendra Puri was a very great devotee. He was leaving the body, and Ishvara Puri was taking care of him and helping him to remember Krishna. So, you know this lady, it's the duty of the devotees to help her, so that before she departs from the world, she can be remembering Krishna nicely. Right?
Krishna, Maharaj, I have a small question. So Maharaj, many times we control the mind on the level of intelligence, but we haven't yet got the very superior taste of devotional service. But we are avoiding the wrong things on the platform of intelligence, not on the platform of naturally being
averse to them. How would we come to the platform where naturally our taste in devotion is so high that it's not on the intelligence platform. By our very nature we can, this is very tuch pleasure. And the second part of this question is, Maharaj, at the same time we are told we shouldn't be doing devotion for our pleasure. So we should be doing devotion even if we are not getting any taste out of it. So how do we reconcile these both, Maharaj?
Well, we shouldn't be doing devotion for our pleasure, but of course we shouldn't be doing it for suffering either. It's the nature of devotional service that we're doing it for Krishna. We feel pleasure. You know, it's something which we just have to do. Just by serving Krishna, we get pleasure from it. And when Krishna is pleased, then naturally we will also feel pleased. We feel happy to see Krishna worshipped nicely. We decorate the deities, we cook a big feast for Krishna, we do kirtan for Krishna, you know, we're doing it for Krishna. So yeah, there's pleasure there also. It's not that it has to be miserable, that because we're serving Krishna we shouldn't be happy. You know, yeah, we will enjoy service to Krishna. Even doing difficult things is pleasure for Krishna, pleasure for a devotee. Because he's doing it for Krishna. You may not like to do it, you may not like to clean the toilets, but we do it for Krishna, for the devotees, you know. We have to do everything in consciousness of Krishna. So devotee is joyful in every situation. Control the mind. We don't, sometimes as you say, intelligence is higher than the mind. So sometimes we do things on the intellectual platform and not on the spiritual platform. But we have to cultivate spiritual intelligence, right? Intelligence, there's material intelligence, there's spiritual intelligence. That intelligence has to be higher quality. Material intelligence, we're just simply thinking on the mundane way, on the material platform. But spiritual intelligence is in relation to Krishna. So we have to use our intelligence for Krishna service, Krishna consciousness. So the Super Soul, Paramatma guides us, gives that knowledge according to our desire. If we want to serve the Super Soul, Krishna facilitates our desire. What do we want to do? Super Soul can help. It can allow us to forget, but he can also help us to remember everything. Okay? Alright, any other questions?
One more question from Isha. How to control anger and how to increase our patience?
How to control anger and how to
increase our patience.
Increase our
patience.
Patience, or increase our patience. How to control anger is very important. Anger control management, right? We get angry very... In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna said, 3 gates to hell: lust, anger, and greed. Alright? So every sane person will want to avoid these things. These 3 things are not good. Not good to be lusty or angry or greedy. Now lust and anger and greed, they come from lust. When the lust is not satisfied, then we get angry. We didn't get what we wanted. Because we didn't get what we wanted, we become angry. And when we do get what we want more. We're greedy for more. So greed and anger, they both come from lust. Lust is the enemy. And I spoke about lust, how to control lust. Cultivate spiritual knowledge and regulate the senses. Very important. Help us. Regulate the senses. Don't eat meat, fish and eggs. Don't take intoxication. These things, they increase the passion, increase the lust. We want to avoid the passion. We want to purify the consciousness. So anger comes from lust. We must be very careful to avoid the enemy, lust. And when lust is in the pure form, there will be love. The pure form of lust is love. And love means to Krishna. We love Krishna. Okay? And patience is also a very difficult problem. Why are people not patient? Because they cannot control the senses, headed by the mind, become impatient because we don't have control over the mind and senses. So, controlling the mind, we have to train ourselves. The mind is like a wild animal. How do you train a wild animal? Did you ever train a wild animal? I'll tell you what they do. They keep the animal in a cage. They put it in a cage and they starve it. They don't feed it. And then they beat it. And then they feed it. And so then the animal knows, wow, this man is very powerful. He put me in the cage. He starved me. And then he beat me. Now he's feeding me. I better do what he says. So you have to deal with the mind like that. You have to beat the mind. You get the mind to do what it doesn't want to do. Right? The mind doesn't want to wake up in the morning. Oh no, I'm tired, I want to sleep more. No, the intelligence said, no, you should get up. You should chant, take advantage, morning hour, chant Hare Krishna. The mind, oh no, I'm tired. Like that. So you make the mind do what it doesn't want to do. You make it get up, and you take a cold bath, a cold shower, wake up. We have to do these things to control the mind, to beat the mind, get it to do what it doesn't want to do. Gradually the mind will settle down. Patience will come. The more we control the senses and the mind, then you will get patience. Patience is a quality in the mode of goodness. We have to have patience, enthusiasm, patience, and determination. These things are very important. So patience you can develop by controlling the senses, by practice. Arjuna also said, I can't control my mind. It's more difficult to control than the wind. But Krishna said, I know it's difficult, but by practice and by detachment. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Abhyasena tu kunteya vairagyena chakriyate. By practice and by detachment, then you can control your mind. Take some practice. Chanting Hare Krishna is like that. Takes practice. Will help you to control the mind. When you get angry next time, start to chant Hare Krishna. Will help you to go outside. You know, maybe you're arguing with somebody in the house. Go out and go and chant Hare Krishna. Go to the park, go somewhere, chant. Okay, getting late. I better stop. Hare Krishna.
are in the group, the WhatsApp group? How many of you are added in the WhatsApp group? Can you please raise your hand? So many of you are not in the WhatsApp group. Because today, I request one devotee who is here. Shubham Mataji is here. Please give your number and name. Mataji will add. Every week, we are posting the poll in our group. Okay? Request all the devotees, please come forward.